Thank you and welcome everybody. Gerald here. So I know you come from all over the world, which is wonderful. It's 7 in the evening here, or 7:30 in the evening here in England, and I know it's 11 o'clock or so in the afternoon in America. So a big welcome for me, and thank you Tamara for the introduction. So go straight on, and the purpose of the webinar is to explain, what I understand by office ergonomics, why office ergonomics are so important, and also to explain how you may be able to instigate a program of office ergonomics for the benefit of your organization or your customers. So what are office ergonomics? We'll start with the definition of ergonomics itself, and the Merriam-Webster dictionary explains a very succinct definition that ergonomics is a science, which indeed it is. It's a study, it's a science that deals with designing and arranging things so that you can use them easily and safely. How wonderful is that? I think that's so succinct. I translate that for office ergonomics to read the positioning and usage of computer equipment within the office environment. Basically, it means that the office environment needs to be adaptable for the use and the positioning and the usage of the people who want to use it, not the other way around. And in Dickensian times, everybody had to put up with what they were given. Today, ergonomics dictates, for great benefits, that the equipment must be adaptable to each of us, because each of us is different. I'd like to do a little poll. So here we go. What I'd like to know is to get some idea of your own knowledge of ergonomics. So this is the poll, and if you would just answer the question, and then there we are. That's launched. That should be on your screens now. And I'll give 10 seconds or so. 9, 8, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, that's brilliant, and I'll share the results with you. Okay, so it's good, and I won't spend too much time in sort of going through the nuances of every ergonomic adjustment that needs to be made within office ergonomics, but we'll have a look at the whole realm of it. So let me explain what I view as the benefits to the organization by office ergonomics. You will improve your personnel well-being and their morale. Most computer users through the day will be suffering some sort of discomfort, irritation due to poor office ergonomics in their environment. By putting in a program of office ergonomics, you will improve their well-being. By improving their well-being, you'll improve their productivity. They will work better. They will work smarter, more efficiently. It will enable you to comply with legislation. In the European Union, we have legislation called the Display Screen Equipment Regulations, if I could just hold that up. Now that is mandatory legislation brought about by the European Union to prevent the risk, musculoskeletal, visual and mental risks that's been found to affect people who work at computers. You will improve presenteeism. It's another way of me saying you will reduce absenteeism. Let's get more people staying at the office most days. I'll explain about the 6% of your salary bill a bit later. It's research that's conducted that showed that unless a program of ergonomics, office ergonomics is in place, about 6% of everybody's salary goes basically through the window. And therefore, one can say that by implementing a program of office ergonomics, you will improve your bottom line. Your company, your organization will be more profitable, have more money to invest in more staff and more products. Right. So where do we start with an office ergonomics program? Office ergonomics starts with advising people, I can say training if one wants, in these areas. the office environment, which is the chair, the desk, the laptops, the mobile equipment, the office environment. We need to advise them of risks and also of the need for postural change. It may be last in this list, but it is a very important part of it. Now, in offices, I take it we all have worked in offices. Now, this is perhaps one of the greatest pieces of kit that one has at the desk. How many people do you reckon know how to adjust their chairs? So, do you know how to adjust your chair? So let's have, can everybody hit their hand raise button for me? If you know how to adjust your office chair and you know all the dingle dangles, just hit that button, will you? So put your hand up if you know how to adjust your office chair. Right, here we go. Okay, but it's still climbing. Okay, still climbing. Yeah. 39% we're up to. Right, okay. So that means, now we are EHS professionals, and just under 40% of us, it's down to 30% now, know how to adjust a chair. It means 60% don't. So the first thing that I do when I'm positioning office ergonomics into the workplace is to show and get people to understand the mechanisms of their chair so that they can adjust it in accordance with best practice. And when one's talking about chairs, the first thing one needs to do is to adjust the height of the chair. Okay? There's a rhythm which takes me 20 years to actually, I was going to say perfect, it's not true, but nothing's perfect, but where I'm comfortable that this is the right rhythm. Now, I'd like you all to stand up, and I'd like you to stand up as per our friend here. And what you'll notice is that there is a straight line through, I'm just getting a different colour, through her ears, shoulders, elbows, hips, knees, and down to her feet. Now, if we can maintain that posture and just relax, but maintain that posture, and what this does, it distributes one's own body weight normally. It is it's total minimal load. There is no one part of our body taking extra weight. So we stand up straight like that. And now what we're now going to do to get the height right, we're going to raise our arms up to the parallel to the floor. So let's all do that. Raise our arms to the parallel to the floor. Now rotate the hands so they too are facing the floor. Now, if we were standing up, our keyboard would be right at the tips of our fingers here. But we're not. So sit right back in your chair, back in full contact with the backrest, move your chair in, and now you adjust your chair up, down, until your hands are floating above the keyboard. If your feet come off the ground, do not drop your chair, but put in a footrest. Okay. Now, that is, I call this the chaos quick draw, and it is a fascinating way that I explain to people in the office how to get the chair height right. Okay, so arms up parallel to the floor, move your desk chair in up and down until you float above the keyboard. Okay, now that's just the chair height. Also with ergonomics, we need to make sure all these factors come into play. Armrest can be a big problem. You probably notice if you sit in chairs, office chairs with fixed armrests, are they too high? Are they too long so you can't approach the desk? And these are typical problems that we all face, we all have. And why manufacturers put them on, I don't really know. And we need to adjust the backrest there. The next, once we've got the chair at the right height, the right distance, the angle of back support in the right place, we now need to concentrate on the equipment in front of us. This is high-risk stuff. One of the big 5 banks in the UK, I won't name them because it's a very long time ago, and I've forgotten who they are, but they had to pay £385,000. That's about $500,000. That's 10 years or so ago. Because a member of their secretarial staff had their monitor here, Okay, my drawing is terrible, but just bear with me. I think you can understand. And our our DSE user was twisted all day for 10 years, twisting her torso, looking at her monitor in the corner. All right. Now, the court heard, she took them to court because she was unable to continue working because of spinal problem, and the court heard that there was no implementation of any office ergonomics training, and that she had not had an assessment by a professional office ergonomic assessor, and therefore she received this huge payment from this bank. We need to make sure that the monitor is placed in a straight line with the user, okay? Its alignment is straight. Height, we need to look at the height, the focal length. Keyboards are viewed as well as a recent survey has shown that keyboards are a main source of MSD. MSD, musculoskeletal disorders, okay? Keyboards, we need to advise everybody how to use them, how to position them, the same with mice. What muscles should we use to drive the mice? Should it be shoulder muscles? Should it be wrist? It's shoulder, of course. Documents, we need to let people know where to put them on the desktop so they stop putting them down on the alongside. You know, how many people put documents down here? I'll try and get another colour, I think, because I can choose all these colours and then I can't choose the right one, can I? But there we are. We'll take a blue one. There we are. Everybody sort of puts all documents here, and then they're twisting their neck to view it. We want the documents in a straight line between the keyboard and the monitor, don't we? So, after desktop equipment, we move on to mobile equipment. Okay, so hands up. Again, let's have a look at hands up. Who recognises this sort of positioning in their offices? Let's have you all. Has anybody seen this sort of behaviour? That's not too bad. It's climbing up 20%. Okay, so it's not really actually as bad as I thought it might be. So that's good news. Up to 27. How it goes down to 28.6, I don't know. Okay, 28. So it's not a great. I come across it an awful lot, but maybe a bit less. What we need to be doing, of course, is to get people to use the laptop as a monitor, separate keyboard, separate mouse, and then we're nice and clear. So I'd like to now do another quick little poll. What I want to know is, from everybody here, how many of you have actually, while you're using your computer, how many of you have actually had felt any discomfort? So let me launch that, and we'll say, so give you 10 seconds to answer that one. My goodness. Okay, that's closed. I'll share this with you. Look at that. And I'm not surprised because, you know, as a professional office ergonomist, if you want, who looks after these, I also get aches and pains sometimes. I go over the top. So if us as EHS professionals suffer aches and pains working on the computer, what about all the poor, I was going to call them poor souls, but all our colleagues who've never had any training about anything to do with ergonomics? It's not surprising that they too will be suffering from aches and pains. So that's off there. So it's about what I thought. After explaining about the positioning of equipment and the chair usage, there are other factors that come into office ergonomics. Maybe not, doesn't realise they're quite as important, but they cover the office environment. Now, a lot of people think that a lot of light is good, but, you know, if it's dim, you know, oh, they can't see, it's going to be bad for you. But the answer, of course, is that too much light is as harmful as too little. And people need to be aware of that so that they can maybe do something about it. And it's the same with noise, temperature. They can be terrible irritants and therefore cause stress, and fatigue and worry. We need to look under the desk. If you notice your own behaviour sitting at a desk, you probably realise that your feet go wandering. Do they, you know, they wander on the 5-star base every now and again, do they? And sometimes they stretch out in front of them because they wiggle. Yes, and that is a natural body working. And if you've got a lot of clutter under the desk, your feet can't go where they want. So we want to clear the area under our desk. Now we're going to move on to the advice that we need to let people know about the three areas of risk that can take place when one is working at computers. And they've been analysed as physical, which we would call musculoskeletal disorders. Working with computers does not damage your eyes, but it may exacerbate an existing condition. And if one doesn't have training about the need to behave with computers and focal length and things, that could also cause some problems, visual problems. And the mental side could be that one works too long at a computer. It can be that the mouse doesn't work. Have you ever had a keyboard where the E key is broken? Or you've ever worked with software to do your job and it's not doing its job, it's just the wrong software, or it's too slow, the computer's too slow. Now these are all factors of office ergonomics, and we need to let people know that what the best practice is and what they can do about it. Now this is coming up is the last part of the glue that goes together to deliver a program of office ergonomics, and it is postural change. And I'd like you all now to please step back, stand up. I'd like you all to stand up and stretch, okay? And it doesn't really matter what you do. You can do all sorts of different things. Your body will let you know what it is that you need to do, and it doesn't really matter. Just don't overdo it. As soon as you feel a twinge, just sit down and relax. Right, now then, stretching helps pump oxygen, nutrients through our bloodstream, okay? If you stand up, you can all sit down now. If you stand up, having been sat for a while, you will increase your oxygen flow to your brain by 20%. Right? This is not my figure, it's research. Now, if you do that, it means you're smarter. And I know that a lot of sales training people in their courses, they say if you stand up to take an important call. Now I do. If I'm talking to where I know I need to be smart and have to do what I'm thinking, I can pace right up and down my office. And it's very good practice. You think on your feet. So we need to encourage people to take breaks, stretch. I recommend every 20 minutes as being good. And get your own coffee is sometimes well, in a lot of offices, you want a cup of coffee. You say to your colleague next to you, Mary, coffee? And they say, yes. Cup of tea, Ben? Cup of tea, no sugar, glass of water, slice of lemon, ginger tea. Right, and off you go. And you've got an order for 6 different beverages. And, of course, you take your time and you make a nice cup of tea. You've had a lovely break. And what's the consequence of that? Well, the consequence is that your poor colleague is stuck at the desk. You have, in fact, instead of helping them and being tactfully polite, you've done the opposite, I'm afraid. So we need to try and persuade offices where there is a culture of I'll get you a coffee, not to do that. And then you encourage everybody has their own opportunity to get up and have a break and make their own coffee. Now, 20-20-20, a very simple exercise. Probably many of you have heard of this, but for those who may not, every 20 minutes, take a 20-second break to look 20 feet away. All right? So let's all do this now. Look at something 20 feet away and blink. Right? Blink, 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 blink. Right? Now, why are we blinking? And why are we looking at the distance? we want to change our focal length. We want to give our eyes a break. Okay, and by blinking, we're helping to prevent dry eyes. We sometimes hear that computer work with dry eyes, red eyes, sore eyes. Well, by taking 20-20-20, we can help prevent that. That's it. Some more involvement now. I'm going to take my glasses off. I'm going to show you micropores. Again, if some of you know, bear with me, because hopefully not everybody knows. Right, I'm just going to show you what this is. I'm going to close my eyes. I'm going to put the tips of my fingers up against my eyelids and put a little bit of pressure. Yeah. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right, now then, we can all do this. So close your eyes, eye tips there, bit of pressure, relax. All right. Now that's called the micropause. I've certainly found that myself. I've done this. You're tired, you're working, and you rub your eyes. And what the micropause is a way of controlling that natural tendency. And a micropause is great because you can do it. It doesn't take long, but it just gives your brain and everything just a change of pace, and it just enables you to relax. The other one that I'm very keen on is to listen to your body. Now, the next thing I like. Sorry about this, I hope you're not getting tired. But so, next thing I'd like you to all do is I want you to all to put your arms straight in front of you, okay? Just like that. Okay? Okay, now just keep them there. Now, listen to your body. Listen, and then as soon as you get tired, okay, put your arms down and click your handy-pandy, okay? Tick your hands, okay? Now listen to your body. As soon as you feel some strain, just put your hands down and click your hand and click the hands. Okay. There we go. Thank you very much. Oh, you're a tough lot, I'll tell you that. I think this is wonderful. This is very good. Okay. That's very marvellous. You're very, very fit. Gosh. So most people still got your arms out front. Don't strain yourselves, for goodness sake. The whole idea is to listen to your body when it tells you you've had enough. And you just put your arms down and off we go. Okay. So that's about right. Okie dokie. So yeah, good. So that is a clear explanation of listening to your body, and this maintaining your arms out front is what we call static loading, and you can explain this. When people sit in the same posture all day long, they are static loading. In other words, their bodies, their muscles are going to work hard to maintain that posture. So this is a little test for you. It's quite straightforward, but just complete it and show me that you know everything there is about it. There we go. Let's have a look at that one. Can we go? 5, 4, 3. That's perfect. Well, what do you know? That is wonderful. There we are. I'll share that with you. How fantastic is that? That's right. Okay, 57. Okay, it's a bit of a trick question, but the answer is that we want the feet to be solidly on the floor or a footrest. We don't want them solidly on the floor if their hands are not floating, your fingers are not floating above the keyboard. So the floating above the keyboard is the key, and everything else flows from that. Right, now, that's a program of ergonomics, chair, equipment, environment, risks, advice and risks, and postural change. Now, the consequences for your organization, if there's no program of ergonomics in place, not only will your colleagues feel discomfort through the day, as we've covered all these things, they'll have MSDs, their RSI, there'll be a loss of efficiency at work, it could be low staff morale, absenteeism, people going off with bad backs. The cost of that is huge, and I'll come to that in a moment. You may lose good members of staff. They may decide to go to a competitor that's got a wonderful system of office ergonomics in place that actually invest in the well-being of their fellow colleagues. And in some countries there may well be a financial penalty because of not applying the law, such as the DSE regulations in England. If there's no programme of training or assessment, then that is not complying with legislation. Now, just have a look at this headline. This came from LinkedIn, another LinkedIn group, another LinkedIn ergonomic group, and it's posted by Renette. Sitting would kill you, my goodness. And there we are. I'll leave this is on the recording, but it's a study. And then a study by researchers in Toronto. Prolonged sitting, meaning sitting for 8-12 hours, increasing risk of developing by 90%. So there we are. It's not just me saying that we're not designed for sitting. It is pretty recognised. Now we're going to come to statistics and things, but this will all help, I hope, give you some ammo if you need to go, to get some strength behind you as to why one needs a program of office ergonomics. So over 43% of work-related illnesses are MSDs. Working days lost. This is in Great Britain, in England. Working days lost, 8.3 million, 16 days lost through per case, per person. I think the cost of that. And these people identify keyboard work, one of the main tasks associated with musculoskeletal disorders. Okay, now then, on the raw data, low back pain affects 70%. Now, 90% of us agreed that we did suffer from aches, pains and twinges. Lower back pain, 70% of the working population. Grin and bear it. 2% of staff are absent. And due to back, the average period is 20 days. It's huge. Program of office ergonomics, we can reduce that quite dramatically and quite easily. This is from the US government, okay? This is their review of MSDs. It's not just the European Union that's recognised problems at the office, but the US government have, and they recognise an increase in MSDs, and that they recognise that regulating design of furniture, duration of computer work, they know that appropriate ergonomic adaptations effectively reduced MSDs, adapting a workstation to each person, wonderfully ergonomic, fantastic, and that productivity is increased if it's arranged to suit them. That's just wonderful. Now, the costs of no office ergonomics, this is in the United States. This is from the US Bureau of Labor Statistics, 650,000 work-related MSDs per year, $20 billion. Third of workers, employers pay up to $20 billion in compensation. That's for lost work days. And the cost is about $4,000 for all types of work-related injury. And this goes on a bit, but it's nearly finished on this part of it, but it just helps explain that for the simple fact of delivering good office ergonomics, one can reduce all these horrendous statistics and also make your colleagues feel better at the end of the day. Compensation claims shoulder injury, $20,000 a year. Indirect costs, absenteeism, and replacement staff. How huge is that? In UK, they reckon it costs £1,000, say $1,500, nearly $2,000 a day if somebody is away from their job, because the replacement won't be as knowledgeable, they may lose business, it's slower, and they have to be trained. Right, so just go back. Those are the costs, consequences of not applying office ergonomics, and now the benefits, okay? So you will have improved personal well-being and morale. Woohoo! That's fantastic. And everybody will feel better. People will feel fresher. They're getting up, they're stretching. You'll improve your productivity. Well, that's good. You will comply with legislation. That's good. You will improve presenteeism. Far fewer people, everybody there, raring to go to work. 6% of your salary bill. EdCom engineers in the UK did a research some time ago. They worked out that the cost of MSDs and not training people in office ergonomics was 6% of a salary bill. You just work it out. It is just huge. And therefore, the benefits to you and everybody else of applying office ergonomics is more profit to invest in your business, increased bottom line. Oh, wonderful. Return on investment. UK average salary, 26,500. Average US, 54,000. 6% of every salary wasted. So average waste in the UK is £1,500. 3,000 average person cost wasted $3,000 per year. The cost of delivering office ergonomics, is it $3,000 per person? Is it $30, $300, $30, $3? It's a fraction of $3,000. It is, well, I put there a no-brainer. It's not a very polite phrase, but it means that it makes an awful lot of sense to put in a program of office ergonomics. Now, to conclude, it isn't just about meeting minimum requirements. It's an investment in the health, well-being, and safety of your colleagues, your people. I want to do one last quick poll, and I just want to see where we are and how many of you are actually involved with decision making on delivering office ergonomics within your organisation. So let's have a few answers there. Okay, I think we've come on. I think we'll close that. Is everybody happy that we've completed that? Okay, so I'll share that with you. It's quite an interesting statistic. So to the 55% that are already delivering office ergonomics, thank you for bearing with me. I hope I haven't been practicing to the converted. Hopefully you might have picked up something from the way that I've been doing it. But then that sounds great. So hopefully what I've covered today has been of value. What can you do next about it? Well, one needs to think about the situation. We know some answers from here. So what I haven't talked about at all is about the need to assess. In England, we must assess people as well as train them. We train them first, then assess them. I was in the City of London. We were carrying out some assessments, office ergonomic assessments with a big firm of international lawyers. A lot of legal secretaries in lawyers' offices, and they're very intense computer users, a lot of pressure, a lot of mess. And I arranged this secretary's desk and a chair and reorganized just about everything. And she just said, oh. And she called to her colleague and she said, Mary, this man would change your life. Now, I'm not making it up, but I mean, I was just gobsmacked. But it's just to say that when you put things right, it can make a huge difference to that individual's life. By carrying out an assessment, you will identify if there are problems that the user hasn't been able to sort out themselves. So they know the height of the monitor, but maybe the monitor is stuck. It just won't go up. So that the employer needs to do something about it. So how can you deliver office ergonomics? Well, I think there are various ways. The perfect way is probably to go around everybody and spend, half hour, 40 minutes with them and explain everything and adjust everything. The downside, I mean, it's just the perfect way. But the downside is you can't see everybody. It may take you a year, 2 years to go around your organisation. And in which time, maybe the last person you see is the one who's got the problem. So as good as it is in a small organisation, it's a fabulous way of doing it. If one needs to cover everybody, it's not necessarily the most practical. Okay, so just bear with me 1 second, would you? Just hold on a second. I'll just leave that there. Okay. Just hold on a second. Right, so the other thing is to train in groups, and then use an external expert to deliver to you, and use an online program such as, there are some good online programs I developed about 15 years ago called dseasy.com. That's it there. So we're now going to go to any questions. So on your question panel at the bottom right, just fire off some questions and we'll spend a bit of time on that.
Hi, Gerald. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Are you able to see the question queue?
No.
Let me help with this.
Can't see you on screen. Okay, well, I don't know why, because I have been here. I've been here all the time. But you're right. So why am I off air then? I haven't touched anything. Has anybody changed anything?
I have a few questions. Would you like to answer them?
Yes, I shall do my
Okay.
very best.
So from Miriam, we have a question of how does office ergonomics reduce cost by 6%, please?
Well, right. It's a combination of people working inefficiently. In other words, if people make mistakes, if they make typos, they don't get a document out to a customer on time, they don't get to present a press release on time, they take time off with bad back, neck aches, they start complaining, and all these things build up. And this was research carried out by a company called Etcom Engineers in UK. It's not my figure, it's their figure, and they did their scientific research. And but what one does know is that it is expensive if people take time off and are not working well. And as we see, we all get aches and pains. If we get aches and pains, then we can sometimes make mistakes. I don't know whether, Miriam, that's a good enough answer, but it's okay. Tamara?
Yes, Gerald. I have another question.
Jolly good.
They're asking by Ryan. What are your thoughts regarding the use of stability balls or standing in place of a chair?
Yes. Right. Very interesting question. The answer is, in an office, I think stability balls are probably a disaster. People bump into them and people can fall off them. There's a whole range of different types of saddleback chairs, swapper chairs, which work on the principle that to maintain balance on them, you've got to maintain very good posture. And of course that's true, but I think they're fraught with danger in an office. I mean, people come along with cups of tea, and all they have to do is to knock into you, and off you go flying. And you may hit your head on the desk. So, I think ergonomically they can be very good for posture. I've got a chair. It's called a swapper, and it bounces up and down, and I use it every now and again because it keeps my back in very good posture. But yeah, I would recommend it for an office space myself. Yep.
Okay, so we do have another question.
Okay.
And this person is David, and he's asking, the 6% of everyone's salary is wasted because of MSDSs. What is the reference to that statistic?
Okay, yeah, it comes from Etcom Engineers in England. If you want, I can do some more research. It's a figure I published some time ago now, but I could do some more research on that, and we could post it on the EHS professional website group if you like.
That would be wonderful.
Okay.
Now I have a question from Mona.
Yes.
Are keyboard trays recommended over placing keyboards on a desk?
Yeah, I quite like keyboard trays actually. I think in America they're quite ubiquitous. I think I don't know, but I understand that they are. I think they're excellent. The angle of one's elbow here, if I can just show there, this is 90 degrees here. Now, if keyboard trays, you open this angle up, and I think that's very good because it just helps blood flow. So when I'm advising people to the height of the chair, you have it parallel to the floor, but you go up a bit so you come down and you open up your angle at your elbow to, say, 110 degrees. So I think keyboard trays encourage one to be, in fact, more relaxed. And the key there is not to extend too much.
I have a question from Andrew.
Hi, Andrew.
What determines the best angle of back support? Is there more than just what feels right?
That's a good question. What I always do is I start off the day with the angle of back support just back from the perpendicular. So my back is always in contact with the backrest. I try and keep a straight line through my ears, shoulders, elbows, hips. The key is to get this blood circulation. So you can, the best practice is to adjust the angle of your backrest through the day. Whoops. So that you actually you haven't got static loading, but each change of position can help through the day. So I think probably the best is just back to the perpendicular to start with, and then adjust it slightly for, say, 20 minutes, half an hour at a time. Is that a satisfactory answer, Andrew? I hope it answered the question.
Okay, I have another question.
Thank you.
From Christine.
Yes,
the
Christine.
Fluorescent light is right above. The fluorescent light is right above.
Yes.
And in front of it is in the ceiling, but shines in my eyes.
Yeah.
Should I turn it off?
Yes. Yeah. It's a very difficult one. The fluorescent light should not be directly above you, really. You need an ambient light. If you want some figures, light is measured in lux. Okay, now 500 lux is like an average. 500 lux is the light temperature, if you want, or the degree of light that one needs for detailed work. Right. Now, your detailed work is on your paper and things you need to look at, but in the distance, one wants less light, and you could get, say, 300 lux or something like that. Light straight above us can be too intense. And this is the question of ergonomics, explaining that you could have too much light. And in the books that talk about office environments, it recommends that lighting is not directly above the workstation. But sometimes this is a problem. What we do sometimes is if they got two or three fluorescents above the desk, we take one or two out just to dim it. Okay. And another solution is to bring in task lights, but task lights need to be appropriate, and they need to be daylight that shines light horizontally. Okay. Is that okay? Does that make sense? Does it help you?
Okay, we have another question from Neil Hoffman. Okay. Do you have any suggestions for a good book for ergonomic design ideas?
I don't. Sorry. I don't. I should know, but I don't. So I'm sure there must be good books on ergonomic design, but I can't help you this minute, Neil. I'm sorry. Terrible answer.
Okay, I have another question.
Yep.
What do you think about the exercise ball to be used as chair for short periods of time?
Yes. Well, an exercise ball is the same principle as my little swapper, and for short periods of time, absolutely no problem at all. The problem in an office environment with, you may have 50 desks in an office, is that people come and go, and they're not expecting a great exercise ball on the floor, and the next thing you know is that somebody's bumped into it and you've gone flying. So I think they're good. They're good. Right. They're good for.
Hi, Gerald.
Yeah. Hi. Yep.
Hi, we're going to have to wrap it up now because
Yes.
we're over our time.
Yes.
So we're going to have to put the rest of the questions on the website. But I
Okay.
thank everybody for joining us today. Gerald, I have to sign off, but can you wrap up for us?
Yes, of course. So here we are, our responsibilities as an EHS professional. This is from the Code of Ethics from different EHS bodies. It states to hold paramount, this is our duty, the health and safety of people, property and environment. I hope you've enjoyed the webinar. That's the right word to use. I hope that it's been of value of your time, for which I would just like to thank you very much for listening to me. I've tried to keep, hopefully I've kept a good balance between what you know, which I've imparted that you might not know. So thank you and au revoir from Gerald, Gerald Whitehouse. Here are my contact details. They'll be available. We'll make the PowerPoints available. We'll make the recording available. And from Tamara and myself, good morning, goodbye, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Bye-bye. Thank you.